All right, so yeah, starting all over again. Eli, you want to put that away? Thanks, man. But we are kind of in the middle of the chapter, which is sort of weird. To start a new semester in the middle of the chapter, but it is what it is. Yeah, it's okay, no big deal. So today we are going to learn some ways that synthetic division can help us. Okay. Oh, nope. And that. No, it was not me. All right, so let's say that we are faced with something like that. 2x cubed minus x squared minus or plus 2x plus 5 equals 0. And we're going to try and solve it. Normally, the only way that we know how to solve this is by factoring it, right? But we can't take an x out of everything because everybody doesn't have an x. You okay there, Kate? Okay. And so we don't really know how to factor it, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little guess and check with synthetic division, all right? So I know that if I can find a number that I can put in that box right there, and then I use the coefficients 2, -1, 2, 5, and I do the synthetic division stuff and I get 0 as an answer, then I have found a solution to the equation, right? So the question is, how do I find those numbers? Well, there's a math theorem that makes it easier to do, and that is that the possible factors are going to be the factors of this divided by the factors of that. The factors of the last number divided by the factors of the first number. And they could be plus or minus. So what are the factors of 5? 1 and 5. So plus or minus 1, plus or minus 5, divided by, what are the factors of 2? 1 and 2, plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2. So that is going to give me what? 2, 4, 6, 8 different choices that I can put in that box. Because it could be plus or minus 1 over plus or minus 1, which would be plus or minus 1. It could be this one divided by this one, which would be plus or minus 1/2. It could be this one divided by this one, which would be 5 divided by 1, which is just 5. Or it could be this one divided by this one, which is 5 divided by 2. Okay? So there are our 8 different choices. Who wants to make a guess? -2.5. So Jimmy chooses -5/2. Let's see if that works. So I'm going to bring down the 2. -5/2 times 2 is -5. Add those together and get -6. -5.5 times -6 is -15. 2 and -15 make -13. And I think we can pretty much stop right there because -2.5 times -13 is going to be some weird decimal thingy. And for this to cancel, we need it to be -5. Okay? So Jimmy has failed. -2.5 is not one of the factors. Okay? Somebody make another guess. It's 5. You know this. You've done it already. It just is. Okay, so Max says it's 5. So you bring down a 2. 5 times 2 is 10. -1 and 10 is 9. I don't like this. 5 times 9 is 45. 2 and 45 makes 47. That is definitely not going to work. So 5 is out. -5/2 is out. What'd you say, Aaron? 1/2. Bring down the 2. 1/2 times 2 is 1. Add those together, you get 0. That's nice. Half of 0 is still 0. 2 and 0 is 2. 1/2 times 2 is 1, and that is 6, not 0. So no good. So far we have eliminated 1/2, -5/2, and 5. It's got to be one of these thingies. It's not going to be 0. Okay, we'll try 1. 1 times 2 is 2. Negative 1 plus 2 is 1. 1. That gives me 3. 3. And that's 8. Do you see the problem we're running into once we get to here? We need some negative numbers because we need a negative 5. So I think that, bless you, I think it's got to be something negative. You want to try negative 1? All right, so negative 1, 2, negative 2, negative 3, 3, 5, negative 5, 0. Okay, so we got it. All right. So it's not always 1. No, it's not always negative 1 either. That just happened to work in that case. So our first answer is negative 1. Okay, but there's more than just one answer to this problem. Okay, but wait, there's more. Order today, and you will get for free. To find the other answers, though, is easy. We don't have to go through this process again. We could, but we don't have to. What we have here, since we started with an x cubed, is this is 2x squared minus 3x plus 5 equals 0. How do you solve that? This one we can factor, okay, because it's just a quadratic. Do you want to factor it guess and check, or do you want to factor it the AC way? Yeah. Okay, we'll do that in just a second. Yeah. Okay, so you want to go like 2x cubed minus x squared plus 2x equals negative 5, like that. And then factor out an x. And then go like this. And then factor this into something like that. Is that what you mean? Why did I not do that? Why does that not work? Yeah, you would be looking for two things to multiply together to be negative 5, and those could be, 1 and you know what I'm saying? The reason why we set it equal to 0 always is because you know if two or more things multiply together to be 0, one of them has to be 0. But if I know two or more things multiply together to be negative 5, I really don't know anything about the individual pieces. I know they can't be 0, but I don't know what to set them equal to figure them out. So it only works with 0, okay? Nice try, though. All right, so Max doesn't like guess and check. Max likes certainty in his life, so we're going to go with the A times C thing. So 2 times 5 is 10. So I need two numbers that multiply together to be 10 and add to be negative 3. What? Negative 5 and 2. So that means I can rewrite this as 2x squared. Can I switch that around? Oh yeah, Max is right. That would multiply together to be negative 10. Thank you for saving us all that trouble. So negative 5 and 2 actually won't work. And neither will 2 and 5, and neither will negative 2 and negative 5. So that means this does not factor. Too bad. You have to use the quadratic formula, and it's not that hard. Here's A, and here's B, and here's C. So time me. Start a clock. Okay, opposite of B, plus or minus the square root of B squared. No, that's your fault if you're slow, not mine. Minus 4 times A times C, all divided by 2 times A, okay? So you can see that the reason why this doesn't factor is I'm going to end up getting a negative underneath the square root, okay? So 3 plus or minus, this is 40, okay? So 9 minus 40 is negative 31 divided by 4. And in a way, this is simple because 31 is a prime number. There is no number that we know the square root of that goes in there evenly. So all I have to do is take out the negative square root and call it good. Okay, how long did that take? About a minute, and I even stopped to like, yeah. Yes, you usually do. I'm surprised you're asking permission. Usually, yeah, you just blurt it out. I don't know who Billy Mays is either. Maybe. Okay, hey Jimmy. Thank you for distracting everyone in the class from the math. Appreciate that. Uh, okay, lesson learned. Okay, so there are our three answers. Okay? All right, so let's try again. Okay? Let's hope that we're better guessers this time because now I have to do the factors of this divided by that. So plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 4, plus or minus 8. Because there's 4 factors of 8, not just 2. There's twice as many. Divided by plus or minus 1, plus or minus 3. Okay? So you guys think about which one of those you want me to try. This time we're going to end up with positive 8 there to make it cancel. So maybe we don't need a negative number. Maybe we do, so the numbers don't get too big. What do you want to try? 2? Okay, so 2 is 6, is 13, is 26, is 32, is 64, is not 0. So 2 is a fail. What else do you want to try? Negative what? Negative 2. So negative 6, 1, negative 2, 4. Nice. Oh no, that's negative 8, isn't it? Dang it. Thought we had it. Okay, so nope. The 2's are out. Okay, what do you want to try now? Negative 1. 3, negative 3, 4, negative 4, 2, negative 2. Nope, not liking the negative numbers because of that last little positive one. Okay, so that's 3, 3, 10, 10, 16. Nope. I feel like we're going to need a fraction here. 1, well, no, because it's got to be this on the bottom. So maybe 1/3 or 2/3 or 4/3 or 8/3. 4/3. So if I multiply that by 4/3, I get 4. That's 11. That is something wacky. So don't love that. What's that? Both of the 2/3? Oh yeah, because I crossed out the 2, huh? But it could be. Okay, 2, 9, that's 6, that's 12, that's promising. Is that a winner? Yeah, 2/3 of 12 is 8. Yeah, okay. Okay, so first answer is x equals 2/3. Okay? All right, then this one we can cheat a little bit because what do you notice about 3, 9, and 12? They're all divisible by 3, so I can do that and make it 1, 3, and 4, and that's not going to change my other answers at all. This is not going to factor. Two numbers that multiply together to be positive 4 and add to be positive 3. So, sorry, Max. But we got to go quadratic formula again. And that didn't even take 30 seconds of work. So there are our other two answers, okay? This may be like 10 seconds. Nobody really does. You like it? Okay. Good. Good to know. Good to know. Quadratic formula does have some fans. Okay, so that's basically the same thing. All right, one other fun fact about polynomials that you should know is that when you're solving an equation and you take a square root, then you get the positive square root and the negative square root, okay? So I think we've talked about this a little bit before. If I ask you what the square root of 9 is, the correct answer is 3. But if I say x squared equals 9, what are my possible solutions? The correct answer is plus or minus 3. So for this one, you have to name both of them. For this one, we're just asking for what's called the primary root of the number, okay? So if you know that square root of 2 is one of your solutions, what's another solution? What do you know for sure another answer has to be? Huh? Okay. If the square root of 2 is an answer, then that means that negative square root of 2 has to be an answer too. Because whenever I take the square root to solve an equation, I get a plus and I get a minus. Okay? Same thing is true with this. You don't maybe necessarily think of I as being a square root, but it is. If 1 plus I is an answer, what's the other answer? 1 minus I. Yeah. Okay? So remember that anytime you get one square root as an answer to a equation, the other one is going to be an answer also. Okay? So if 3 minus 2i is a root, what's another one? Right, so if we're given 3 minus 2i and 5 halves, then we know the other one is going to be 3 plus 2i. 5 halves, not a square root, so you don't necessarily have the opposite of that one as well. Okay. All right, so this is kind of useful in synthetic division because, oh, nope, this is us going backwards. Okay, so if you know that it has roots of negative 4 and 2i, what's the missing one? Negative 2i. And so if you want to go backwards and start with these as your answers and write the polynomial, then it would be x, anyone? Nice, plus 4, and then it would be x plus 2i, and then it would be x minus 2i equals 0. Okay, so if they give you the roots, then to find the thing, you just have to subtract them. Those are easy. If you see those, you should get excited. Really short, really simple. Okay? Okay, and then that is where things get crazy. Okay, so that's where we end. All right. First homework of the semester, don't screw it up. Do it. And do it right. Get off to a good start.